Welcome to ScottyCast, where I'll be interviewing lots and lots of very, very interesting people, some CEOs, some people that are just have incredible ideas about things and what have you. And I'm very glad you've ended up here on my podcast, and all the best. And I hope you enjoy the episode. Today, I'd like to talk about how complicated this world is. I've been developing software for many years, starting off with the simpler assembly language when I developed a very large terminal emulation program which took 35,000 lines of code. And soon after I programmed in assembler language, the C language came out, and then I used C to build a front end on it. But then came C++, Pascal, all these different languages came out, and all these different compilers, and more control was taken away from the programmer. The complexity of these things is enormous. If there's a bug, you can't look at it on your own as a programmer. You have to call the company that made the platform. But it's not just about programming. It's about, Apple's about the only one that's getting it straight, but there are so many devices out there that they try to be easy and they make it hard as hell. Whether it's a package you have to open that they think is really cool, but you have to end up using some tools to cut it open, or whether it's just any kind of machine you buy these days. It's like you have to have an IQ of 250 to be able to understand some of that stuff. It's absolutely crazy how much stuff is too complicated these days. IKEA is a large, or IKEA as you say in the United States, is a very large manufacturer of relatively inexpensive furniture. Generally speaking, they make things quite simple. Even though, just as a side point, I knew a guy when I lived in Switzerland who was a doctor in the ETH, really high-level guy that couldn't figure out how to put IKEA furniture together. In any case, they're an example of a company that actually knows how to keep things simple. But just as another example on the technology side, when I used to deal with Microsoft, I used to speak with a person, an actual person you could listen to, and they would listen to you, and they would try to help you solve the problem. Now, if you call Microsoft or any other company for that with the same issue, or not with the same issue, to say with a problem, then you're going to go through 14 levels of AI voices that finally, if you're lucky, gets you to a person that might actually help you with the problem. But many times I can't even get through. I get to the third or fourth level and it says, "We're sorry, we can't help you," or "Please try again another time because we're all busy," or whatever. It's so much complexity in this world now. It's just too much complexity. I've had it up to the top of my head with the complexity it's out there now. Keep it simple. The KISS method. Keep it simple and stupid. That's the way things have to be. Look at the way Google went. Google started off as do no evil. Well, Google's done nothing but evil since the time it got a lot of money. Things that used to be simple are now complex as hell. I think it's great when there's standardization, no question about it, when you can standardize on certain kinds of cables to connect certain kinds of devices. That's really good. That's easy, it's straightforward. But packages you can't open, and people you can't get to, and I don't know, even on customer support. I had to call customer support to a particular company today, which I won't mention, just because of the complexity of how things work. Sometimes when people try too hard to make things easy, they actually make them more complex and frustrating, and they don't sell as many because they didn't really think about, again, like I say, like Apple does, they try to really think about the way what things people would actually need as opposed to what people have asked for. But most companies just deliver to the customer whatever they think the customer may want. And that ends up being very, very complex and hard to use. In any case, there are many, many problems in the world, but why make the complexity higher in the products that we buy, the products we have to use? We don't have to make things more complex. We have to make them simpler. That's all there is to it. Thank you for listening to Things Are Too Complex in This World. And come back and listen to my podcast coming in a few days, and all the best. Bye-bye.